Okay, so tonight's homework, adding and subtracting integers, okay? This is new. Obviously, number one, you should be pretty clear on, okay? That's just normal. We've been doing that since kindergarten, okay? Number two, we're gonna look at number two. It says -5 plus -3. Now, we wanted those zero pairs. Remember, a positive and a negative, remember, that's a zero pair, because +1 minus 1 is gonna give me 0. So I can add a gazillion of these onto my number, and I'm always gonna get the same thing that I had, 0, right? So here I have -5, so I'm gonna start with -5, okay? And I'm gonna build 5 negatives. Actually, scratch that. I'm gonna draw a number line, because I like the number line. I'm gonna start at 0, always, you wanna start at 0. And I'm gonna do 5 negatives. Well, 5 negatives is gonna take me this way. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm at -5. And now it says I'm gonna add 3 negatives. So I'm gonna add on 3 more reds this way. Okay, and now I have 3 more reds, and where did I end up? I ended up at -8, okay? I want to see a model on these questions. We have to practice making models because you're gonna be tested with a model, okay? Now let's try a different one. Let's do this one, number 3, okay? Number 3, if I start with a number line, remember you're always gonna start at 0. Actually, that's a bad location for 0, so I'm gonna put 0 way over here because I need 9 negatives, okay? So I'm gonna do 9 negatives. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's -9, okay? And then I wanna add on 3 positives, okay? Well, the only way to add 3 positives, right, is I have to add. Okay, so once I have 9 negatives, I'm just gonna add on 3 positives. And I'm gonna go back, because think about it, this is towards the negatives if I go left, but I'm adding on positives, so I'm gonna go back towards 0. So now, when these stack up with each other, remember, those are 0 pairs. So I can take all of those, and they go away, right? And then I look at what's left. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negatives. And so my answer is -6, okay? Let's try one more. Some of these are kind of hard down here on the bottom. I'm gonna do number 6, okay? Okay. So now I have 7 plus -5 plus -1, okay? So I can do this a couple of ways, but I'm gonna show you the long way because it's kind of where we are right now. And I'm gonna start with 7 positives. So I'm gonna do my 0 over here, and I have 7 positives. Okay, and then I'm gonna add 5 negatives. Well, that means I'm gonna go backwards, right? So I'm gonna add negatives, I'm gonna go back this way. So that is 5 negatives, okay? And then I'm gonna add 1 more negative, okay? And so now remember, all these are 0 pairs, because when I add them up, they give me 0, so I take them away. And what's left is 1 positive, okay? Let's try one of these that's the absolute value, because I think that's gonna be a little tricky for you guys. Absolute value, you wanna solve, these are like parentheses, right? So you wanna do what's inside first. So I'm gonna start here, okay? And I'm gonna start at 0, back over here, and I'm gonna put -10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's -10. And we'll shade them in, because if they're colored in, that means they're negative, okay? And I'm gonna add 3 positives, okay? And then I'm gonna, so that gives me, hold on, that gives me what? That gives me -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, if you think about that, that's the absolute value of -7. Well, don't be fooled, because that's actually equal to 7, okay? So then I have to come and I have to do a second number line, because now I have to start with +7. 6, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I have positive 7, and I'm going to take away, I'm going to add 8 negatives, okay? So if I add 8 negatives, that takes me 5, what is that, 7, and then I add another negative, right? And I take away the 0 pairs, and now, did you like that sound effect? It leaves, take them away. And then what's left is -1. So the answer to this problem is actually -1. Fancy bonus points to you if you try the absolute value ones. Hooray for you. Now we're going to try some subtraction. Look for that video.